off the charts again. It's Everything is Awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love this song.
Everything is terrible. Everything is bad when you're part of a team. Everything is garbage when you're dying to scream.
Blistina?
Blistina? Dad? Dad?
I'm sorry.
Do we need a fourth Powerpuff Girl? Well, what about a fourth Indiana Jones movie? It was terrible. What about a fourth season of the Boondocks? It was terrible. What about a fourth US president? It was terrible. Who the fuck is that guy, you ask? Exactly. Fuck you, James Madison. You weren't even in Clone High. Well, that sums up the fourth Powerpuff Girls special, The Power of Four, starring Blistina.
Blistina?
That's the name you're gonna go with? That's the design you're gonna go with?
Yes, our legs are long.
And my legs are long.
Yes, they're very, very long.
It's a special that retconned Powerpuff Girls lore, where it turns out the professor originally created Bliss first by spilling chemical W. Like chemical W, X, Y, Z.
You spilled chemical X when you made us. You made the same mistake twice?
22 times, actually.
So where's the girls created from chemicals A through V and maybe 0 through 9? It's like Stitch's cousins. Where are you hiding the other girls, Professor? Huh? The Power of Four episode can only be described as a self-insert fanfiction and ratings grab. They were selling t-shirts minutes after release. What a joke. Where's the respect for Bunny, the real fourth Powerpuff Girl? Thank goodness they wrote out Blistina from the show by the end of the special. To do that, they had her go live in space alone. Sounds very familiar.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Wow.
Hello.
The Emoji Movie. Yeah, that happened. I was there in theaters weekend opening. I counted about 7 isolated laughs from audience members dispersed through the entire 90 minutes. The Emoji Movie went below my expectations. It's the bare minimum of effort put into a movie. All you get are the basics of a be yourself story without any substance.
It's almost too thrilling for words.
I give some things I review credit for looking like they had some passion put into it, but Emoji Movie radiates this feel of it being a paycheck for everyone involved. I know it was, and this was just a commercial, but you could say the same for any Hasbro toy commercial. Some of those are pretty good, yet Emoji Movie has no goals beyond marketing. For crying out loud, the day is saved at the end thanks to the Twitter logo. I apologize for Emoji Movie spoilers, but this film was so terrible, it attracted the Emoji Movie masturbator. During a screening in New Jersey, a man was caught pleasuring himself, but got away. He remains at large to this day, but I know where he'll strike next. The Emoji Movie released late July 2017, but exactly 1 year after, on the same weekend for 2018, you know what film comes out? Teen Titans Go! The movie. That is where we'll find him. His reign of terror and ejaculant will be no more. With it being 2017, that also ties into Cartoon Network's 25th birthday. I know this since we're the same age. My life force is linked to Cartoon Network. So what did they do for its 25th birthday? They had this animated promo. And that's it. Hey, what did you do for your birthday, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, whatever. It's another birthday. We're old. We got Dexter on Hulu. Birthdays are no fun.
Here it comes.
I remember seeing the mural for the 20th anniversary of Cartoon Network at Comic-Con, thinking maybe my cartoon will be on the 30th anniversary. Hey, I just thought Samurai Jack ended this year. That's something they did. I've also been informed this was the Canadian channel Teletoon's 20th anniversary. What did they do? Nothing.
When life gets me down, I play my guitar. The rest of the world may follow the rules, but I must follow my heart.
As a person who was calling it a Book of Life ripoff by big corporate Disney, Coco turned out to be on par with my love for the last few great Pixar movies like Toy Story 3 and Up Yours, John Lasseter. Dare I say, I'm caca for Coco. But this spot belongs to everything that went against Coco's publicity. Because it was a film that focused on one specific culture, Disney's marketing didn't think this would have the broad appeal of, let's say, a talking animal movie. Coco's Thanksgiving release was facing two big superhero films still in theaters and premiering just days after the John Lasseter scandal. We'll get into that later. And of course, the whole controversy about Disney almost trademarking a religious holiday. In order to boost ticket sales, Disney added a 21-minute quote-unquote short before Coco, Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
We're going door to door looking for family traditions.
We make candy canes together.
Sugar Rush.
That'll get the honkies in theaters. This overblown short comes off as insulting, like, this movie's a little too Mexican, so we need Frozen. Like, screw you. Frozen is proof you can make snow even whiter. Most animated shorts before films are 5 or 8 minutes. This is 21 minutes. That's how long TV episodes are when you take away the commercials to fill up a 30-minute time slot. That adds up because this was first made to be a TV special on ABC. Olaf's Frozen Adventure caused confusion among moviegoers, unsure if they walked into the wrong theater or not. Like, at least film some animators introducing the special so everyone's not confused at when it's gonna end.
Achoo! I am terribly allergic.
But Dante doesn't have any hair.
And I don't have a nose, and yet here we are. Achoo!
In spite of everything, Coco's doing acceptable business in America, but over in Mexico, it became the highest grossing theatrical release. And that Olaf short became so despised that it stopped being played in Mexico. Yet America, as I write this, is still subjected to Olaf's Frozen Adventure. So that's why I propose the hashtag #KillOlaf. We can change the world, people. We can end this.
One of my favorite fairy tales of all time is Jack and the Beanstalk. So I'm proud to announce that we are in production of our version of Jack and the Beanstalk, and it is called Gigantic.
From the long list of Disney fairy tale movies, their version of Jack and the Beanstalk will not be happening, as the film Gigantic has been cancelled. This was a computer-animated musical about Jack discovering a society of giants in the clouds. While there, a giant little girl befriends Jack and assumes he's a mere toy. The film, originally titled Giants, would have music from the songwriters of Frozen and was set for release 2018. Later, it was pushed to the year 2020 until things fell apart for reasons pertaining to creative differences. A lot of choices go into a film, and any minor change can drastically alter the movie as a whole. It was in development for what seemed like forever, but maybe they couldn't compromise on what they as a group wanted. Without Disney's Gigantic, that Easter egg in Zootopia now makes no sense.
All your favorite movies. I got movies that haven't even been released yet.
Welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like to get a 10-piece McNugget and a bunch of the Szechuan sauce. Like, as much as you're allowed to give me.
It all started as a simple gag on Rick and Morty. Rick revisits his own memories and orders a real-life sauce McDonald's served in the 90s as a promotion for Disney's Mulan, the Szechuan sauce. This caused a rise of internet funny guys who wear zombie Deadpool t-shirts and are oddly comfortable saying the N-word to order Szechuan sauce from underpaid McDonald's employees. Mickey D's eventually gave in and decided for one day only, Szechuan sauce is back, but only in select cities with maybe 10 to 20 packs per location. As you expected, this didn't work out so well.
Give us sauce! Give us sauce! Give us sauce!
Blockades of internet funny people flooded McDonald's cross major cities, all for a sauce that's sold at a Walmart. This overwhelmed McDonald's as they announced they'll have much more sauce in more locations for the winter season. That's good, but this makes me wonder, did they really underestimate how popular Rick and Morty is, or was this an artificial scarcity? If you purposely have a limited supply, you can make it sound like you sold out of the product faster. That way, whenever someone sees said product, they'll have the urgency to buy it, since they might not get this opportunity for a while. It's what Nintendo's been doing for years. Douchebags.
I want Szechuan sauce. Where's my Szechuan sauce? I'm Pickle Rick! What beloved Dum Dum? I'm Pickle Rick! 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 I'm Pickle Rick! Rick! Rick!
This whole ordeal angered the creators of Rick and Morty, who felt this situation was handled poorly and asked why Mickey D's never consulted Adult Swim for a tie-in. That could have helped them get better metrics on how many Rick and Morty fans there are, yet McDonald's dived in headfirst into this promotion, but I think I know why they didn't directly associate with Rick and Morty. The Szechuan sauce was a promotion for the Disney film Mulan. Now that Disney's developing a live-action, I'm assuming all-white remake of Mulan, it's likely they'll bring back the sauce for that. Maybe McDonald's didn't want to mix brands between a family Disney movie and this ultra-violent adult cartoon. Whatever the reason is, this truly was a dark day in fandom history.
What
the heck?
Okay, quiet. Hey, hold up that card.
Hey, dude, move that light. Right?
Action.
Happy New Year from Nickelodeon.
Happy New Year! Best wishes for a prosperous and happy 1994 from your friends at Channel 5.
Here we go.
Well, here's one way to show self-entitlement. Some cartoon fan was lucky enough to take a tour of Studio Mir, who are in production of Voltron on Netflix. This lucky fan took photos in places they shouldn't have and decided to leak the photos online. The photos contained spoilers of episodes still being animated and were spread online quickly. The leaker, a 15-year-old on Twitter, threatened to keep leaking photos unless the crew made the characters Keith and Lance date each other within the show. Leaking info like this is serious and got the studio in legal trouble with DreamWorks.
Stop touching my equipment!
While we don't know what repercussions Studio Mir faced, cool stuff like animation studios allowing tours or guests can be something they'll stop doing. When I got to visit Cartoon Network Studios this year, they were really cracking down on security because of things like this. Studio Mir tried its best to delete any leaks, but once something's online, it can be online for good. The Twitter user who leaked the info at Clans14 has been deleted, although I see some speculation that this was just a troll who was reposting leaks already online and claiming to hold the photos ransom. To me, that sounds far more plausible, but whatever the case is, truly, this was a dark day in fandom history.
I'm sorry. I think this Numbville is getting to me. I gotta go.
It's that time again to appreciate the work of anyone in animation we've lost this year. Like Hiromi Saru, the original Japanese voice of Bulma in Dragon Ball, and Meryl in Trigun. I love that show. June Foray, she's done it all from the Looney Tunes Granny, The Witch, Rocky the Flying Squirrel, and Goth Duck. Who could forget Goth Duck? Peter Sallis, far more famous in British television, but to us Americans, he was the voice of Wallace in Wallace and Gromit. And Adam West. Sure, he's the live-action 60s Batman, but he's had a ton of hilarious and emotional animated roles, from Family Guy to Batman the Animated Series. All the silly villains of the week in 60s Batman was the inspiration to the likes of Powerpuff Girls and Kim Possible. It's only appropriate his final role was reprising Batman in animated form. While we don't know these people personally, our entertainment would be so different without them.
Hey there, I'm Chris Savino. I am the creator of The Loud House, and today I'm going to show you how to draw Lincoln Loud.
You know, last year's top 10 worst of the 2016 video was a lot more fun. Like, hey, Norm of the North, doesn't that suck? Now it's just big-time cartoonists harassing or threatening women's careers. Chris Savino, creator of The Loud House, John Lasseter, head of Pixar, and a special mention from... I don't care, who was arrested on child pornography charges. Chris Savino was fired, but John Lasseter merely gets a 6-month leave while he lives off his Pixar money. So you know what that means.
It's vacation time, brothers. Vacation time, brothers. Vacation. Vacation.
What the fuck? Oh, but don't worry, he apologized for, quote, unwanted hugs or any other gestures fellow employees felt crossed the line in any way. Pretty sure he did a little more than awkward hugs.
The alleged incident was not an isolated occurrence.
One longtime Pixar employee says Lasseter, who is well known for hugging employees and others in the entertainment community, was also known by insiders for grabbing, kissing, making comments about physical attributes. Sources also say some women at Pixar knew to turn their heads quickly when encountering him to avoid kisses. Some used a move they called the Lasseter to prevent their boss from putting his hands on their legs.
I can assure you, because the animation industry is so small, a lot of artists already knew these things were going on but couldn't do a thing about it. John Lasseter gets to keep his job because Pixar completely changed the state of animation. Nearly every Disney animated film in recent years has his production credit. He's irreplaceable, and that's a major factor on why he did these things. They're higher in the food chain. Why trust someone new with a job when you have someone with experience that did something the public doesn't need to know about? Until now, he'd be straight up fired, but the company depends on him. In a similar story, comedian Louis C.K. got in the same trouble recently, and now his upcoming TBS cartoon, The Cops, has been put on hold, leaving the artists working on these shows without a job before the holiday season. You don't have to be the one harassed to be a victim of these people, but animation is a huge collaborative effort. When the creators of Clarence or The Loud House were outed as harassers, their shows kept going. Unfortunately, Lasseter and Louis C.K. are far bigger brand names to these cartoons. Things like this make it more complicated on what to do. Fire Lasseter and risk losing jobs, or keep him on and hope he doesn't do it again. What's the right thing to do? I don't know. I'm just a pizza. So let's go on to the final contender.
Where again, state police confirming a murder-suicide. That's what they believe it is right now. 3 men confirmed dead, including the gunman.
Well, this is a bad one to end a video on. Animation somehow being linked to a mass shooting. Someone shot up a supermarket all to appease their love for their fictional cartoon girlfriend, Ember McLean from Danny Phantom. I'm not making this up. A bit odd they chose to please a fictional character who gains power based on how many people give attention to them. So let's not talk about that. We have enough negative animation videos on YouTube. Let's instead talk about all the good stuff that happened this year in animation. Samurai Jack, Hey Arnold, and Regular Show got their endings. Quality may vary. Action cartoons like Castlevania and Young Justice are returning. 2 well-made Lego movies. Mexico getting more prominent animation attention. Gorillaz came back. DuckTales was a good reboot. 12 Forever's coming to Netflix. The Loving Vincent is something otherworldly I really want to see. Cuphead is a highly successful video game tribute to Fleischer Animation. TBS announced they'll be making their own adult cartoons. The Incredibles 2 teaser. And I got to visit Cartoon Network Studios, but what impacted me the most this year is the finale to Regular Show. Without Regular Show, I would have never broken out from my 90s kid phase of hating modern animation. Me making videos focusing on cartoons instead of video games or movies is all because of Regular Show and Adventure Time. It's what made me realize Cartoon Network is where I should aspire to work. Until or if that happens, I think I'm comfortable making videos and webcomics. YouTube will sort itself out, or not. I don't know. You just gotta roll with it.
Jolly good show.
Welcome to a very special You Pick with Stick. We're partying like it's the 90s and loving every minute of it. Since this is the last couple of hours of 2011, we've got some of the series finales of your favorite 90s Nick shows. Then, unless I can figure a way out of it, at exactly midnight I'll be dipped in one of the disgusting substances you guys picked. But the party doesn't stop there. For the first couple of hours in 2012, we'll be showing the series premieres of some classic Nick shows. So, without further ado, here's the series finale of Kenan and Kel. I love a do. What's a do?